nice introduction. I want to thank you all for being here. We do of the book since it came out in the summer. It's been a long process, took several years, and because of this, there are so many people we would like to thank, and I would personally like to thank. I would first like to thank the Arab Fund and the World Bank because they've been the main donors who have financed the research that appeared in this book. The Arab Fund has generously hosted a conference in the January of 2012 discussing the main findings of this volume. I would, of course, like to thank Ibrahim, who's been my co-editor and who has invited me to become his co-editor for the volume, whom I learned from all throughout the writing of this volume in its many stages. I would like to thank a very distinguished team of economists from the region and outside it who have made this book the success I hope it will be. And some of them are here. I can see Shahir, who co-authored with me the comparative chapter. Kamyar did a very good chapter on business cycle linkages. We had Dr. Kabbeshi here, who did an excellent case study on Sudan. We have a female Saudi economist, Hind Sheikh, who did a chapter on the political economy of the labor market. We were lucky enough to have Paul Collier to write something on long-term sustainability and Klaus Schmidt-Hebel to write something on the importance of fiscal institutions. I'm very, very happy to have Jaime de Melo here, who co-authored a very insightful and fresh chapter on Dutch disease in the services sector that was novel and new to us. Who else? Raimondo did some work for us on the marriage between institutions and oil or economics. It seems it's a common theme between both books. We have also novel analysis of the political economy of labor market using game theory, and that was co-authored between Ibrahim and a young economist, Omar Ali. I hope I haven't forgotten anybody. We're about a team of 14. They have put up with my stern emails and deadlines to get this, and we've made it. And last but not least, I would like to thank Dr. Ahmed Galil, who has been there for this book since the very inception of the project and has accompanied us with his guidance and support all throughout. So without further ado, avoiding the oil curse in the Arab world, it's a story of another, I think, failed marriage between economics and politics. I would, however, just like to start with a positive note. We want to say that definitely for this region, oil is a blessing. The Arab region would not have achieved half what was achieved today without this wealth of oil prices. We know that the Arab world is a major player in global oil markets. It holds around half of global oil reserves, a third of production. It controls a quarter of natural gas reserves and around 14% of production. A measure that we find very useful and informative to capture this oil wealth in the region is oil per capita. And using this measure that we have plotted for the 6 Arab countries that are our main focus in the book, we can see that using this measure, Qatar is the wealthiest. It's of course a major exporter of natural gas, and that's its main wealth. The rent per capita is around $190,000 per year, so that's a lot. And overall, we can see that the GCC, which is like the left part of the graph, are the wealthier group of the countries, because if you look at Yemen, the rent per capita or oil rent per capita is around $30 per person. So there is a stark contrast between like Qatar and Yemen. Oil has also enabled these countries to achieve significant improvement in their human development indicators, whether it's related to education, health, and also in infrastructure investment, but I don't show this here. Yet, this wealth has not been translated into sustainable growth, diversification, and prosperity, especially if we compare these experiences of our own Arab countries with countries like Norway, and Chile, which in terms of oil wealth, they're endowed with much less or significant resources. Yet these countries seems to have done better in myriad of ways. I here just plot to show you the GDP per capita growth over a very long time between 1981 and 2016. The GCC has almost not grown in per capita terms, or even slightly contracted by 0.1%. The populous group have grown still lower than Chile and Norway, and even though there is not significant difference between the populous group and Norway, did not plot this here, but if you look at the growth volatility, the volatility of growth in the Arab world is much more higher and much more harmful. We have decided to go about differently in presenting this book. We do not provide a review of each chapter alone. We actually decided to present you with 5 main messages that came out of the book. We have 12 chapters that address 3 main questions. The first one is there an oil curse in the Arab world? I personally live in the GCC and have many people come and visit me in the UAE and ask me where is the curse. So the curse is hiding. So the first question is there a curse? The second two is about the marriage between oil and institutions. And then the policies to manage the divorce between oil and institutions in a good way. And I think Ibrahim would like to go on from here.
Dr. Ibrahim,